Okay. Cool. So the space stuff we haven't really got anywhere with, which is a little bit annoying. Right, so this is just kind of making an infinite pumping loop. Awesome. A bit more research. We'll just do stuff. And just checking, we've got loads of water down here because this is our water source, really. We've just left that as is for now. Okay, so we definitely don't want to do that. Button. So we're going to continue this run up. Obviously, we need do something like that. Just working out how they can get in here. I suppose I'd better just continue this up, and then just put that in as tiles. Put one there for the sake of it, and there. Just it's not strictly necessary. Now, two of them. What I want is, I want the oxalite refinery, which is under refinement. There it is. You can make it out of lead because the overheat... Is there an overheat temperature? I thought this did have an overheat temperature. So being mad. Okay, maybe it doesn't have an overheat temperature. It's probably... Definitely remember you can make it out of lead. Couldn't remember why. Just checking the air pressure. So it's already near 1800, so actually if I don't need to be too precious on like liquid locking this, for example. But we'll just build that round. So we'll pop in a joint plate. Advantage to building off the power spine. We'll pop that line straight in. And we'll put an airlock door just to cover ourselves off. Now we've just got a little oxalite room, and then this one we can run up the power spine. And tell you what, given we haven't built this yet, watch for the save. We'll pull that one like that, and then pull this one somewhere up there. And just a little bit of snipping. Click on the wrong button. Do a little bit of snipping. That's why I like the snipping tool. I mean, with of course, with designs like this, you don't need the snipping tool, but you do with real pipes. It's much easier. So do that. Bridge across there. Then that'll get some oxygen in. Excellent. And then could do another one of those. So I need more gold. Always like building out of gold because I just feel it's obviously just more robust. Stuff doesn't overheat so quickly, which is always good. Don't want stuff overheating. Excellent. So just nab that gold. So that's going on. Just working on space, and we got the petroleum boiler design running. So there's just a lot of building to do right now, I think. Dupes are on it. Suits are up. Oxygen safe. Boots safe. Oh, there we go. We're in a good state. Always good to see. So I'm not sure what more to add at this point. So the chat's a bit quiet, although I think if my viewer numbers are right, we've got a fair number of people in. So if you any silent lurkers, I still appreciate you you hanging out, and do feel free to say hello. I won't bite. So of course, if there's anything I can help with, questions or anything you want to know, by all means, I'd love the input. If you want to lurk, that's fine too. Of course, anyone watching on the YouTube video, thank you for watching along. This is just checking where we are now. So I'm depending on exactly how I cut this VOD up, I suspect we could well be into the start of kind of episode 10 on the YouTube. So if you've got to episode 10 and you've watched all the previous ones, then thank you for that, because it's a fairly long series at this point, and it's going to go much longer, so just hope the start was interesting enough with the Oasis start. I think we've kind of tamed our way around that, really. There's no major problems, and there's nothing I'm too worried about. Just make sure, just keep an eye on that vacuum, but this is perfect. Just getting probably about 300 kilos of aluminium per shot every cycle or so. So it's not a lot, but you know, we can never say no to a load of free aluminium. That'll build up into tons quite quickly. So have we done the digging? Yeah, so Bubbles is quite good on the digging. I think she's probably doesn't have enough to do. Just pop in a battery. Oops, let's save. Get longer. It'll only get longer. So we'll just build that up. I think I should probably just stick some more glass in, because I could actually look at trying to put solar panels up. I mean, obviously I've got the power spine all the way up here, so it'd be fairly straightforward for me to do that. Ah, okay, right, so we did pretty much get to the edge of the map. I just wonder if... Is this climbable? It looks climbable to me. It's not climbable. There must be a 3-tile gap somewhere, and there it is. So if we do that, then they can come down here, and that will reveal that. Right, printables. Yeah. Just take the focus out. Now, I was going down here as well, so I noticed that's been all built. Check some more geysers. So that's salt water. I think we probably found that one before, and that's cool slush. Oh, nice. There's a cool slush strip down here. I know people love those cool slush geysers. They are definitely a favourite of the community. So I'm not buying or selling, to be honest. I don't particularly have a preference for them. Water is water, and we'll process it one way or the other. Now I do see we've got ice down here. Now I'm wondering if this is frozen core. I've got to be honest, I didn't check the traits that carefully. So it could be frozen core, or it could be just an ice biome, but I don't think there are ice biomes on this map. And this is about where the bottom of the map is, so this probably is a frozen core map. Which would be funny for an Oasis map. I mean, I could actually just... That's minus 112. Yeah, okay, that's almost certainly a frozen core. I mean, I can just open these two together and just go... We can get up with a lot of water and cool this off a lot, so we could probably kill 2 birds with 1 stone if we just open this up. See what though, that is going to make this map a lot easier to deal with, because I need the entire height of the map, and I was very much worried about having to cool magma down here and sort it out. Dealing with that height is going to be much easier. I can dig it, I can ship it, that's easy. I can just melt it and pump it, so there's lots of options. Ooh, what have we done here? That's solid glass. Whoops. I don't know how we've done that. Cool. A little bit more research done. So I think we just took through that. Let's find that funny solid glass tiles. So what I'll probably I say is there's no really point. There's not much point in me prioritising building that, because I kind of need all of this really to be done before. Yeah, the glass forge is making a lot of glass in there. They keep dropping out, which means I'm losing half of it in the packets. I don't know. It should be fine in this igneous rock. I don't get it. Can I make ceramic? I should have some clay, shouldn't I? So I'll tell you what I'll do. See, 10's not actually that much, because you need 4 of these for 1 insulated pipe segment. So I'll do 12. That's 3 times by 3 is 9. So it gives me 9 segments, and then yeah. Well, if we make the output pipe out of ceramic, it'll be a bit more resilient. But I haven't had problems with igneous before, so I don't know. If anything, I'm wondering if we're a bit cold. No, oh, okay. Just conscious this mealwood is getting a bit touch and go as well. And we definitely don't want the mealwood to overheat, or we will have big problems. So we'll just put this cooling in. So I provisioned for this already, so it shouldn't be any kind of issue. Now what on earth do I do up here? I feel like I've got to go into it, so should we do that? Okay, yeah, and we could just loop through these. I think we could just go down like that. Come back in. I'm just using granite for this. Obviously you can use refined metals and gradient pipes, which are much better. You know, it's just not necessary. That's the thing. And resource-wise, trying to get that much refined metal. I mean, I've got the volcano unlocked, so I could do. But, you know, granite's just better. So I think they'll crack on with that because it's proximity-wise. And I've got the proximity enabled in the priority. So if you don't know about this, because it's really... Oh, no, I don't have it. Okay, I do now. So make sure and remember to enable proximity there. Just make them a bit quicker. Always find that option really badly buried. I don't know why they did that, but... Yeah, so these plants are already starting to overheat. So we need to get on this ASAP. Then what I'll do is I can fill the loop from here. So they should... I think they should prioritise that, unless there's anything else that they've got on that's higher priority. Yeah, and Turner's definitely on it. Okay, so I think we're just in time with this, to be honest. Maybe we left a little bit late. But I'm not too worried. I can always make some mush bars just to cover. I always love watching these. They're just they're mesmerising. So, I've got 2 tons of aluminium now, and that's just going to go up and up and up and forever. We'll never have any issues. This should be quite quick. I mean, particularly if all the dupes chip in with the priorities. And I'm using granite because granite has the highest thermal conductivity of all the raw minerals. Although, yeah, see, this is getting a bit annoying down here. It's carbon dioxide. Once I pump a lot of this into the rocket, then that'll solve this problem. But for now, just have to live with it. I think we're slowing down the research slightly for sure, but... Okay. Let's crack on that. This is how to do a base cooling system. Will be the topic for another tutorial, but I think cooling is a... I don't know what the right way to phrase it is, but I think it's often a challenging subject, particularly for maybe not intermediate players, but players that got a bit of experience, but just trying to still learn the game. Cooling is a tricky one. There's only really one way to do it sustainably, which is like this. So once you know how to set them up, you can just plug and play and set them up wherever you want. But if you don't know how to set them up, they're a bit unintuitive. I'm not entirely sure how you'd kind of come to the realization by yourself, but the idea of the aquatuner and under the steam turbine, it's really the only industrial way to leak large amounts of heat. So yeah, I think that's going to be a very useful tutorial bite, I hope, because I know a lot of players struggle with cooling. Ooh, come on, they're not building that quickly. I do wonder if they're just getting on with other stuff. But yeah, just got to watch and wait and build a cooling loop. Now this base isn't actually that large on the scale of things. Definitely called larger bases, but it will be bigger. It'll be, well, I'll have to tear it up to do it, but it will be bigger when I remodel. Obviously I need 400 dupes, so I'm expecting the base to kind of be this size, just of living areas, and then we'll fill out the rest of the industrial bits to support them, particularly oxygen. But I'm just going to stabilise this base for now, discover the full map, complete the research, start working on space materials, and kind of once everything's stable, I'm going to then start partitioning the map, closing off these oil reservoirs, and then I can really plan and particularly start vacuuming out. There's going to be a lot of vacuuming to do for sour gas boilers and for steam rooms and for carbon dioxide rooms. Definitely be easier to vacuum. Fortunately, there's not too much water on this map. I say fortunately, I mean it's making it a little bit difficult at this point to survive, but I mean we've stabilised that, so it's not a major problem. But yeah, I suppose we'll put an extra waterfall in for infinite storage too. So that's fine. So actually having loads of water wouldn't in itself be a problem anyway. We'll see. We'll store the water we've got and deal with the rest. Come on. I'm just wondering if I should prioritise this a bit because it's well, these plants have come back online now. 30, 25. Yeah. It's a bit borderline, but the food production is still fine. Getting a little bit of barbecue, I think, here and there from just critters naturally dying. It's just setting up a cooling system. Takes a little time, especially if I had more dupes, I'd be fine. But food is the issue. So I think getting this petroleum boiler online will fix a lot of things. Because we can also, we should probably start planning the right place to put slickster ranches in. If we can, and once you get slicksters off a petroleum boiler, you should be able to support 75 if you don't include the molten slickster addition. If you feed all of the CO2 to molten slicksters, then you should get another 9.5-ish. So you should get about 84, 85 slicksters from a petroleum boiler, and that will make 12. So that make about 40 to 50,000 kilocalories a day of barbecue. So that will support 50 dupes by itself, and then I can really ratchet up the number of dupes and start expanding from there. So the petroleum boiler is going to solve the energy problem. It's not really a water problem, but it would help water if I wanted it to. So I think that's probably where I'm heading. I'm probably heading towards 30 to 40 dupes with a petroleum boiler. Then from there, I might need to build more bedrooms for that. But I can tear up these farms. From there, I can then really expand hard. So I think this is gonna take off shortly. I hesitate to use the word shortly. I mean, it's not going to be for another at least tens of cycles. It might be another 100 or 200 cycles, in all honesty, before this really goes big. But we're definitely getting there. So that's quite good. As are these guys, but I'm just going to take the food, especially because food's getting a bit low. You see now this cooling loop's almost done. So just literally just run a piping loop round. We've got the bridges. What I will do is I'll just cut that, just so I can back this pipe up a bit, because I'm going to pull the cooling loop off of this. Yeah, I think it's mainly Frankie's on it. Let's just check the skills, because I think Ren... Just give him carrying. Just give everyone carrying. I don't want to give Turner the Masterworks. I can give him the electrical. We'll take critter. We'll take construction. Yeah, so Lindsay can definitely take that. This is fine. So we now have a decorator. So I can actually go into the priorities and adjust that to... I'll take that for 1 point. So yeah, just go into priorities, decorating. No one should be doing decorating except for not Lindsay. I think it's Lindsay. Just double check %. Yep. So only Masterworks decorators should be allowed to decorate, because the artwork they make is directly linked to their skill. So you don't want to make worse artworks. That's just no point. So just continuing on. So a little bit of waiting. At this point, it's not too boring. You're skipping ahead in the VOD if you're watching on YouTube, maybe. I don't know. Got nothing against that. But I do love watching the view time counter go on. So always fun. We can make 2 more suits. So if we, because I had 14 docks here. So we'll do that. This cooling loop's almost done. That's on 7, so I think I'm just going to speed this up because really need this cooling loop done. Let's just do that. Those are 8s. So you do those 8s. Sure. No, is this reachable? No. Why have I done that? Oh, come on. So I thought I did that. That's what I should have done. Just... Yep. So I did over this side. Maybe I went around that way and didn't realise before I changed my strategy to a sensible one. Oh, I've got 2 plug slugs in here. Making hydrogen. Okay. A bit more barbecue. I hate plug slugs. I think they're terrible. Yeah, they're in the DLC. That's just very annoying. Got too many problems. I really want to get the CO2 out, but I need this cooling loop up. I think they're just having to go out and grab granite. There's not granite in the base because obviously it's not native to the forest biome, which was the start. So they're grabbing the granite from, well, out in the oil biomes, I suppose. So there's a bit of time bringing the construction supply, which is slowing us down slightly, not majorly. We're a little bit over halfway there now. Again, apologies if this is a bit boring. You're just watching a cooling loop being built. I can't really make it go any quicker. Well, other than prioritising, which I've already done, of course. Almost there. Been a bit quiet in chat since Tanky gave us a quick raid. Appreciate that very much. A bit more research. I think we'll hold off on the research for now because I don't think that's valuable. Let's focus on this. Chat's been a bit quiet today, but that's fine. I know a lot of the only viewers do like to lurk. It's not a problem. So this will be on YouTube, so hopefully we'll get some more interest. I mean, I'm really hoping this takes off. I mean, from a game perspective, it gets really interesting because there's a lot of good stuff here. So I'll just connect that into that, then we'll start. Right. So we're pulling. See what we'll do is, if we do that, we can use this our reserve pool to top stuff. Now that's hold on. Right, okay, so it can't flow anywhere because and this could turn off this above. So we want the average base to be about 20, 22. Because it's 14 degrees swing, you kind of got to go 29. So it'll go 29, it'll go down to 15, and then the average of those is about 22, which is where we want it to be. Oh, come on. We'll just finish that little bit off, and then we can fill this loop, and this will then start going. You can see it in action as well. If you're not familiar with the cooling loop, it's just definitely an efficient way to do it. Come on, there we go. Go, 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 go. That's right, so the water's going in. We're even pulling in some toilet water, but you know, it's fine. It doesn't make any odds. So it goes through there. It's pretty hot coming in because it's coming at 70, so actually this is going to heat the base before we cool it. Unfortunately, it's going to take a couple of loops to chill, but that's fine. It's more of a long-term solution. It's not a quick fix. Just sending this in, and basically it'll just loop forever, and when it's too hot it'll go through the aquatune. So it's coming in at 40, 50. Yeah, it's It's a bit hot. So what's probably going to happen is all of these plants are going to start overheating worse than they were before in the short term. Right, did we get that ceramic? I don't know if we did. Yes, we did. Awesome. So we got 2 points. So I think what we can do, is that enough? I think that's enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 times 4 is 28. That's not enough. I think I asked them to do more than that. Yeah, they just haven't finished. That's fine. Made that ceramic. Just check this cooling loop. So we don't want it to jam, and it will jam if it gets too full. So when we get around to that point, we'll just stop it. As to see, it's getting quite hot up here. That's how effective it is. I mean, these cooling loops are just really, really good. Which is fortunate because it's really the only way we have to cool in the game. So if it were no good, we'd be struggling. But it's so powerful. Okay, let's just watch this. I'm just going to leave a little bit of a gap, really. There we go. So there's a 1 gap I could fill, but I'm not going to. And then we can just cut this off again. So we can just let this lean back on the salt water, which is coming in from below. Excellent. Right, it's got a little bit of petroleum in there. Cool. Yeah. So that's this is looping. It's coming around at 40, and it's going to come out at 20, 30, 25, 30 now, and then it'll go around another pass, and it'll come out at. I'm going to just take it. Attempt to take a little bit off this, but I'm just going to go 28. 28. So this is kind of some of this is coming out at 20, 24 in the 20s. Which is good. And what we can do as well is stick a little bit of radiant piping in. So I find if you just use it in key areas, and because we've got aluminium, which is awesome, it's one of the highest thermal conductivities in the game. We can just put some in here, and then basically that's kind of putting it opposite the oxygen lines. So it'll cool this oxygen coming in nicely. We can make this radiant piping if we want to. It's a bit overkill. But yeah, this is looking good, so I think this first loop's just still looping around, and when the 20-degree stuff comes in here. So this will very quickly take the heat back out that it just dumped in. And yeah, we'll recover these plants. They're going quite badly over now. Excellent, okay, so that cooling loop's up. So the next priority is really the space stuff. So let's do that. Put that as a 7. And that as a 7. That is to be built. We'll just quickly double check. Yep. Yeah, power's good. Water's good. Okay, they haven't built that. So that. Ventilation's fine. Yep. And logic-wise, okay, so we haven't built across here. Do that. Then we'll do the settings. So we've got a second half Rodriguez up there. I'm just using that for oxalite and for rockets, so it's not going to be too heavily used. Don't think we really want any of those. If I can just take that as food, just literally kill it instantly, otherwise it starts making oil everywhere and that's so annoying. Just kill it, but that's a little bit of barbecue. More meat. Yeah, this reed fibre planting was a really good idea. Definitely helping out. Now we've got 14 suits, so we can take on more dupes. Cool, and now the carbon dioxide's come up here, so this is kind of dual purpose as well, because it's lagging out like hell because they're building gas pipes. But this is going to help take this level down and make this usable again. And these engines are fairly thirsty. They take 150. It's U6. This is 25. It's freezing. Okay. Unfortunately, this is too cold. Just do that. The oxygen won't do the same because that will survive -60 quite happily. Which is fortunate. Just get him to do that. Awesome. So we need to start exploring the star map. We need to get on with the orbital research because we need more exotic materials, and we need to get on with this petroleum boiler. So the key thing, it's just got 20 cycles, so we've got some time. The key thing is to get this magma chamber vacuumed out and sorted before the volcano goes off. Then we can start filling this, and then we can work on building that to follow. So that's not a biggie. Circuit overloaded. I do have a lot of suit docks on there. It's mainly there. Oh right, because this is now one, so this is obviously pulling a lot more power. Yeah, so between that and the aquatuner, it's quite a lot, and all of my suit docks are on here. So even though the suit docks, I mean, if you look at this, the potential of this line is 3,000 versus 2,000, but realistically, these suit docks use very little, so I don't tend to worry too much about going well over the overload limit, as long as it's not actually overload, which of course it is in this case, so not ideal. Right, okay, awesome. Okay, so this is now fueled. So it's just a case of getting the oxygen in. Who's on this? Okay. I'll just prioritise those. I won't bother sweeping it out. Battery settings wise, let's copy that. And we should be able to build these in now. Once that's done, we can build those in. Cool. So, spawn number 2 is up. Okay, and that needs gold, so I should have a little bit of gold amalgam. It doesn't need very much gold, so actually 2 is plenty. It uses tiny amounts of gold, just gotta have some to hand. Which actually I didn't on one, yeah, when I did my Moonlit playthrough, I didn't have any gold on my starting asteroid. It was rather annoying. I use steam rockets to get everywhere. I mean, they're quite good, so that's not a major problem. Right, okay, so this should be ready to start. If I just copy the settings. I use 450 on the top for the hydrogen and 750 on the bottom for the oxygen, but that's fine. And we'll just let this settle out. So we'll pump a little bit of non-oxygen and non-hydrogen, but why is this not pumping? What do you mean pipe blocked? Oh, it doesn't go up there. Whoops. Okay, but yeah, awesome. Oxygen's going up there. And that's going to go to the rocket interior. It doesn't really matter. So we can come out here. This is just going to be our collection lab. I tell you what, I think it's going to be Catalina, and Catalina's on the base clock, which is going to help. It's going to help me organise her. It doesn't really make any difference to her. Awesome. Yeah, so it's taking a little bit of damage just from clearing it out, but now that's hydrogen. We'll never get anything other than hydrogen in there. That's great. So we can make some oxalite, and we can crack on. Okay, so this is also. I'll just do that. Also stuck there. But this is ready to go. So yeah. So I'm just going to use the trick where they never run out of oxygen inside the suits, but we'll send them up for a cycle and bring them down. So we won't run out of oxygen. They won't need the toilet. I don't know. I don't understand what is going on here. Why am I getting glass pouring out? It should just this is a ceramic pipe now. I'm rather baffled by that, to be honest. I've never had that issue before. Or maybe I had it once or twice, but it's never then... Right, so I just noticed this has flashed petroleum, which is a little bit concerning. But as long as this doesn't turn to sour gas, then we'll be fine. I mean, if it does turn to sour gas, we'll still have a liquid lock. It's just, it will lose the vacuum seal, which should be mildly problematic. I mean, not the end of the world, but problematic, because obviously this is 100 and this is keeping nice and cool with the active tuner. These aluminium radiant pipes are crazy good. Why is this stopped? Ah, because again, I've done it, the bypass. We'll just empty this out. The bypass is shorter. It should be 3. If it gets jammed, it's usually 3 that you need to clear. That's good. But in terms of these plants, yeah, these have calmed down now. So that's great. And now we're flowing, yeah, so they were the only ones overheated. See, where I've got these aluminium pipes in, I mean, this is just... right here and here, it just pulls the heat right out. So all this should turn back to a nice toasty green, but not too hot. You can watch what's going on with this glass forge. See, it works fine when you watch it, you see. I'm rather bemused by this. I tell you what though, we can continue on with the research, so there's definitely no reason not to. Even if we go for these more advanced technologies that need a lot of orbital, we can still do the other bits. But I mean, this should be good to go, to be honest. So we can definitely send Catalina up. When I meant to do it at the start of the cycle and I completely forgot. Got sidetracked. So yeah, I think really we're on petroleum boiler right now. I don't think there's anything else that the Dupes need to focus on. Which is good. So we'll let them continue on. We need to come over the top to get down here. Excellent. Right. Just set that to 40, and do that as 20. Cool, well, we're making oxalite, so I'm running out of space here. I'll just get rid of the diagnostics because frankly I find it useless. That's what I mentioned in my tutorial bite on the UI. It was a little quick video on just how to use this effectively. But yeah, I just don't find it gives you anything particularly meaningful. Right, awesome. So we got another one. So I'm actually almost tempted just to completely skip the small petroleum engine and just go straight for the big one, because it just seems if we can get the orbital research for it, it would be good. So I'll send Catalina up. Yep, with that. See if we can grab. Well, you usually grab about 30 data banks per go. I'll tell you what we'll do. Frankie, I think, so the researcher, we'll give him the applied materials research because we need him to keep going with the materials research while she's up in the lab. So yeah, so we'll send Catalina up. She's in bed now. So just go on here, change the crew, we'll make it Catalina, and we'll begin. And she can just go up in her suit. She won't run out of oxygen. We can leave her up there until she gets tired. She might have to soil her suit, but we can bring it down at any point. So this is just the easy way to send her up. And literally all I've done is put the machinery in. There's nothing in there for her to live, but she can go up. Stays in her suit. She'll never run out of oxygen because when they run out of suit oxygen and they breathe, puts on forever. They don't actually start consuming the environmental oxygen if their suits run out. So you can leave them up in a rocket forever in a suit and they'll never run out of oxygen as long as there's an atmosphere. But there you go. We'll send her up. Got a nice colony achievement just for launching my first rocket, of course. Space race in it. That's fine. We'll send her up. And she'll just crack on with making that, and we can bring her down for her to eat if we want to. Nice, we've got some iron, so that's going to give us a load more steel. We're going to need steel, and we're going to need lots of steel, particularly for the natural gas areas. Steel is going to be useful. We can that. It's always useful to have lots of steel. Can these be planted? I don't know why they're not being planted. Ah, these should be disabled. So I definitely need to have to think about infinite storage, but we'll cross that bridge in a bit. So the main focus is definitely on this, isn't it? So I was just thinking maybe strip mining, but let's focus on this. And we'll just ask to prioritise this a bit. And then we can pop in the door. So if I use, so you can use obsidian here. Obsidian will withstand magma quite happily. Melted temperature 2700 degrees versus the magma comes out about 1800. So that's in Celsius. But this stuff obviously won't last. We can definitely sweep that out of the way. We'll need to mop as well. And the mop command picks up liquid either side, so as long as we've got one every other. But this is good. This volcano's got 19 cycles. We'll be well up by then, so we'll have the magma room sealed. I'm not entirely sure we'll have the boiler completely done at that point, but as long as the magma room's filling up, then we're good, because it's usually take at least 2 eruptions before we can get down. And then I'll talk through the petroleum boiler more when I get to it. Oh, I've got unreachable fit. Oh, so yeah, so Catalina's just up here, and sure we can just pop. So she'll just sleep. She'll never run out of oxygen as long as she doesn't starve. She'll soil her suit. She might get stressed if she does that, but we can just leave her up here to generate data banks. So we'll pull her down when the stress gets too high. She'll never run out of oxygen, and then we'll probably just send Frankie up in her place. So if we kind of alternate, we'll pull the stress down. She's made a mess, of course, but you know, it's fine. Just keep going with data banks. And that way, we can just push on. So we can probably just aim for the better petroleum, and then that's all we need. I mean, we've got everything else, so that's fine. Bubbles is on it, on the dig. And I'm just prioritising the magma side. So, and of course we'll liquid lock in here too. And we'll have to come across, so there needs to be a lot of cleaning out. Also, we need to build up our petroleum supplies again. So we'll just keep an eye on Catalina up here. Obviously, her stress is going up now. She's got a sword suit. That's quite a big stress penalty. But you know, she won't run out of oxygen. She won't starve. She's got at least 2 cycles, so we could leave her up here for a long time. In reality, we'll probably pull her down when she's made 35 of these. But yeah, because if she starts recovering her breath, it kind of hits the efficiency in half, and also if her stress gets too high, it'll only be a pain. So we'll let her go for a little bit more, and then we'll bring her back, and we can send up Frankie next to do that. So say if we mop here, here, and here, they'll pull in one either side. So that's great. I think this extra is food, since it's rather in the way. And then I've just built this kind of liquid lock. I'm going to lock this off too. And this will be the robo mining area. So I can pop that in actually, just to demonstrate what that looks like. I think steel's the best bet. I mean, you can get away without that being steel, I think. But yeah, definitely safer to make it steel. We'll put another one of these down. But we're going to have to come and build this from the side anyway. But so, I'll tell you what, given we're going to need to do that, let's just do that. We'll end up with a mix of oil and water in there, but yeah, be fine. They don't get stuck in there, please. Tell you what, we'll just bump that just to make sure the sweeping and the mopping gets done. And then we can close this off. I also need some automation, so just thinking. Actually, I can't wait to make my guide on this because I can refer to that. The automation. So the one I'm using Francis John's reference, but it's not so clear. So just wondering if I make this all out of steel, to be honest, so let's be safe. And then a thermoset. I mean, I've got quite a lot of steel, fortunately. Been doing well on the steel production. So that comes in there. So I can explain this once it's built. I think it's a bit tricky otherwise. So I can use lead here because it's lower. Okay, right. So I'm forgetting about Catalina, but she's now out of oxygen. So yeah, about 37. So we just pull her down, and she'll just pop straight back in. Then we can dump some more carbon dioxide. And then what we'll do is we'll just change the crew to. Oh, okay. So Frankie doesn't have piloting. So just give him piloting. Just go back up. Okay, and then yeah, Catalina will go, and we can just send Frankie straight back up. Also, this is nicely eating the carbon dioxide. Yeah, so we're kind of stabilising that layer. We'll send Frankie up, do exactly the same. We can just kind of alternate, just a quick and easy way. Awesome. Right, so I got horribly sidetracked here. So I need a filter gate. I can make that out of lead because it's inside the tiles. Is that no? Sorry, that's a knot gate, isn't it? This is why I definitely need a better tutorial video for this. I think there's probably a lot of interest in petroleum boilers. It's a fairly advanced design, and I know a lot of people struggle with it. We'll use steel in here just to be sure. So we'll do that. We'll do that. This definitely doesn't need to be steel. Wrong overlay. That's lead, so we'll just use lead down there. Okay. And then we need a memory toggle, which is why I researched it. That needs to be that way up. Yes. Yes, it needs to be that, but one higher. It's too low. That. So I can cancel that wire. That's it. Okay. Turner's managed to get himself stuck. Yep, and that's buildable. Yeah, so now... Where's Frankie? Hello, Frankie? You... What's... Where's Frankie? Did I like double click this or something? Oh no, I did forgot to put the part. Oh, someone's made a mess there. Okay, just a worn out my suit on the floor. Who's unreachable? Turner. Yeah, okay. We're on it. We're on it. Cool. We will need a little bit of oil in here. We'll sort that later. Cool. That's diggable. I'm gonna need to. Where's the correct layer? So keep the layers attached. 5. Is that 2, 3, 4, 5? 5. So that's one there. Is that 4? No, that's not 4. Wait, yeah, I do. That's 4. Oh, skin build all that. Printables. Nothing particularly exciting. Yeah, so we've just got Frankie up here now. He's just making more units. Meanwhile, the research continues. So we should make enough to get the full-on petroleum engine, the big one, and then we can go 20 tiles, and we'll have loads of petroleum. We're going to need some power over here too, of course. We can just put that there, so put a pump in. Just build this up. Hydro sensor should be fine in lead, but you know, let's be a little careful. We don't want things melting. Okay, so we're just kind of not really prioritizing this, which is rather annoying. So I need to get this vacuumed out. And, well, I say soon, I've got quite a bit of time, but let's not hang about. So this will be good. But yeah, I'll explain it when it's up and working. I think trying to explain it as I go along building it is a bit trickier. It's actually much easier to see when you can see the things moving around and the automation toggling and so on. So. Right. So then what I need is doors, and I need steel doors, of course, because this is holding back magma. Can they reach that? I think they can if we dig that way. So once we put that in, put these in, so effectively we can close this area off, and then we can turn this pump back on and just vacuum all this out. Frankie, yeah, obviously unreachable food, but he's fine. We're just pushing on with this basic research. Alright, so I've already got one, almost, well, a ton and a half of oxalite, which is loads. Well, it's not loads. You need 900, don't you? Per, I think you need 900 per, per rocket if you're going to do 2 fuel tanks. I think that's 2 liquid fuel tanks, which is more than fine. So Frankie's, I'll just let him go on for a little bit, but we can, you see Catalina's stress is coming down. We'll pull Frankie down now. So that's all we've got to do, keep going up and down. Because each time we do this we are using more carbon dioxide, and although it's good to get rid of this, it is a limited resource, so we have to be a little bit careful. Not overdoing it with a number of trips, so try and get as much done per trip as we can. Right. Awesome, so this is kind of taking shape now, really. just prioritise that. I'm just interested. Oh, so this is open because this is not gate. So it's fine. I just don't want this to magically turn green and start opening things. We can do that. If I did that. See, now that's rather annoying because that's going to make an absolute mess if you left that in. Obviously we won't. I'll just suppress these notifications just to get rid of them. And we have to sweep that too. Okay. So a lot of building. It's the kind of thing. Yeah, for the tutorials, I just do in sandbox mode, a lot quicker. Then you can talk through them from there. But of course, the key is being able to do it in game, so no point just being able to do it in sandbox. Cool. Okay, so now one of these is open. See what I can do though. Just try this. Warning is just annoying me. There we go. So we get them to build that. We'll delete that and take this back up. So because this is now closed, we can just vacuum this out, and this door should stay closed. And then what we also want to do, we can form a liquid lock here, and we need a little bit of liquid on this tile. This is very important. So we're going to need a place to pull from. I don't know where it's going to be. I mean, say find 3 oil reservoirs. It's not exactly difficult on this map, is it? Although interestingly, this volcano is in the area where the oil biomes are. They're pretty much everywhere else, but I mean, there's one there which is a bit tricky to use. There's also kind of in our access route, so I don't know. Yeah, it's going to heat this up if we, I think yeah, so that's going to heat this up too badly. There's balm lilies. 85, it might not get that hot, but rather than do that, let's just use 3 from up here. So if we assume liquid's coming in the top, we'll just pull it in this way. And we need to route. So I like routing the incoming oil through this plate, and then we'll run it through the bottom. So we'll just I'll tell you, let's not run it that close. We'll run it like that, and then we'll have to bridge here. And then we can just double checking how much aluminium I've got. Just about enough. So we'll do that. I mean, I think this might actually be too conductive, in all honesty. So I might have too much aluminium in there, and I can replace it later on. So let's chuck that down. This is the correct level, which is rather unfortunate. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we should come across here. Excellent. Just have to dig all that out. And say this will make a lot more sense when it's running. If you're watching and you haven't done petroleum boilers before, then this probably doesn't make a lot of sense. Appreciate I haven't explained it at all really, so I will do. Fear not. So yeah, so this is just vacuuming out, which is good. It's pretty low down there, but so I'm just going to add a second line to this because there's a little bit of a choke point there, which is too slow. So I'll get it done a bit quicker. This room's a bigger area. Try and get that igneous rock out, otherwise it'll just melt on the way through, but that's fine. So I think it's really all hands to the petroleum boiler. Let's get Frankie back up in doing the orbital research. Research-wise, we're pushing on with the seed one, but honestly, I don't know why I'm doing that. I hate those mutated seeds. It's probably a waste of time. I'm just too used to doing the all achievement runs where where those are important to get. Obviously, Himawari, bro. Hello, good to see you. And good morning, isn't it for you? Thanks for dropping in. I've been going a little while here. Made some good progress. Petroleum boilers are going, so I know you're interested in seeing this. It's not built yet. I'm gonna try and talk through it when it is built. But, hopefully you can see the layout. You might be starting to get an idea of what we're doing. But we're gonna run the magma against the oil as it comes in, and we're going to counterflow the oil against the petroleum coming out. So it's not too bad. Hold on. So that's gonna be. So, okay, he's gone straight for a door. I could use door. And then tile. So door and tile, so that's about the right amount of ladder. Just, yeah, I've got a bit of a food issue. You'll be in and out. You'll take care of, of Toby. Yeah, by all means. I was dipping in and out of from you earlier this morning, from my morning. I was going in and out of work, so yeah, appreciate. Got lots to do. But yeah, it's going to take a little while to get this set up. I mean, we've still got 13 cycles before this erupts, and it's going to need to erupt twice before we can actually use it, and it's probably going to take longer than that to get this all sorted out. I put a mini gas pump in here, so let's do that, and we can leave this one in because it'll. So power-wise, we're going to need to bring one across. So let's pull a. I think we can get away with a normal transformer. Just having a think. So we've got one pump, one robo miner, and then that hopefully shouldn't run. So yeah, and then we'll run some conductive ones over for the oil wells themselves. But this is going to be the next dig then, isn't it? So we've got to kind of open this up. So a lot to do. Checking out the VODs on YouTube so you get the whole picture. Yeah, I mean, in terms, yeah, yes, yeah, going forward, yeah, I mean, up to this point, I don't think there's been too much, yeah, it's just been a little bit of planning. But yeah, it might be useful just to check out how to get this set up and vacuum this. But we're making a magma blade, so you can use the fact that the length of this being so on the 10th tile, if it's one tile high, gives you a fixed amount, and it doesn't all pile up into here. So this is a really good way of managing the magma without building out. That's why. So this has to be exactly 9 long, and the 10th has to be the drop. Yeah, I mean, this is a great topic for a tutorial bite, isn't it? Just need to get around there. So I know you're unreachable, but you're not. Oh, okay, hold on. He's starving. Oh, sorry, I'm being completely blind. But we need to get him some food now. Let's just double check. I really hope I don't have to. Should be fine. Just leaving my guys up there for too long. Go, Frankie, eat. Oh, let's go around the left side.